for Jews who want to be faithful to Israel's survival in the face of this administration, which seems to have a hidden agenda against Israel. People who have never thought of voting Republican or conservative in their lives, but the British Jews have done it when Jeremy Corbyn took over Labour Party. Should Jews stick by the Democrats in this critical juncture?
I'm personally, look, first thing is, I must say, I don't represent American politics, and I don't represent American Jewry per se. I represent Israeli Jewry, and I represent Israeli interests. And I just want to make that clear. So therefore my opinions are more like a personal opinion, and not really prescriptive, because I think that American Jews have a different style of life, and they have to make decisions based on living in this country and what they think is best for this country. That being said, I personally think that the Democratic Party, and I think a lot has been written about it, is a party that is part of progressive values and not biblical values. Has lost the plot on some of the classic things that make up the makeup of this country, and has chosen a kind of an extreme form of liberalism that forgets about the the very religious and basic fundamentals of what is family, what is faith, what is really a country that is cohesive with one vision, and so I don't like, I'm not a big fan, although there are some great Democratic congressmen and senators that still retain those values, but when it comes to Israel, again, an issue that I'm much closer to, I think today trying to force Israel to give up its land in favor of the jihad, bad idea. Appeasing Iran, giving them loads of cash to fund their what is it called, IRGC? What does that sound? The
Revolutionary Guard.
The Revolutionary Guard. That just suppresses people in the streets, and so I think that what happens is that Jews that have democratic values end up voting for a party that actually supports regressive regimes, and I think that's a mistake. Israel is the most, at the end, I am not a liberal in the modern sense of the word, but I am a classic liberal in the sense of freedoms and liberties. Israel is a classic state of liberty in our region. It's a force for liberty. And I think that people have to vote with, those who want to vote on the Israel issue should vote for a party that represents a strong Israel, because a strong Israel means a strong will for liberty in the region instead of jihadism. So, listen, Joe Biden and that crew, I don't think that they're the stuff of the Abraham Accords, and I think they're the stuff of the old two-state solution, empowerment of the jihad and Hamas, and so that wouldn't be my vote if I was living here. But if I'm already speaking on the topic, I would say American Jews, what an opportunity to live in the Holy Land we have right now and to be part of it. Let's take steps to live closer in our life to Israel. Certainly the top echelon is making Aliyah and living in Israel. But in the meantime, drinking wine from the land of Israel Friday night, deciding that you come every summer to Israel, sending your kids to a year in Israel, putting up a picture on your mantle of a place that you love in Israel, just making Israel part of your life. I think taking steps towards a closer life in Israel. And really one of the top things I would recommend is purchasing a piece of property in the land of Israel. I think that's the call of the hour, and I think that's more important than all those issues that we have little effect on. But when we buy a piece of property in Israel, we change our whole life to make ourselves connected to having a piece of the rock and really caring about it and really being one with it. And I think that it is the great mission of our life to help build the state and the land of Israel. So, Scott, I want to thank you so much for all the great work that you do. And I want to bless all the people that watch JewTube to continue to have a successful life of passion and love and health and success, and of course a greater connection to Israel, which we can all take one step to a greater connection to the Holy Land. So thank you very much.